Good morning, everyone. Sabah al khair. Really happy to be here today in Egypt. It's actually my first time, so it's been a great experience so far. And I also wanted to tell you that I'm really proud to cover the Middle Eastern and African market, and especially the Egyptian market, because we have some customers here that do some great and interesting things. For example, Square Engineering, who was also speaking before. We were together at Autodesk University earlier this month, and this is our biggest event of the year for Autodesk. There is 10,000 participants, and actually Square Engineering presented together with Kemet about some of their new and complex workflows, so that was a great experience. So my name is Cecilia Vassberg, and I'm account executive for Autodesk Construction Cloud, based in Dubai, and happy to be here together with many of my colleagues today. So my presentation today is going to be about data and how it empowers better collaboration, but also how it can help us build more sustainable. So I'd like to start with some facts. By 2050, we will be approximately 10 billion people on Earth. And what does this mean? It means that we will need 50% more energy than what we are using today. And we also need 50% more resources. It means that we need to build more buildings, we need to build more roads, more airports, more infrastructure, more electricity, but we also need to rebuild from natural disasters and war. Right now, we have about $4 trillion of assets that are at risk because of climate change. And construction accounts for 30% of global waste. And the built environment accounts for 38% of greenhouse gases. So just wanted to give you some examples in numbers. Concrete accounts for 6% of all the global CO2 emissions. And just to have a comparison, because we all focus a lot about aviation and how much it's polluting, actually it accounts for 2.8%. And concrete is actually the second most widely used substance on Earth, just behind water. Steel accounts for around 7% of all the world's global CO2 emissions. And that is 27% of all the emissions from manufacturing. So how can we make better energy and material choices and waste less to have a good world to live in, even many years from now? We in this room, we have a great opportunity to change the way we build. There is a lot of expanding regulatory pressure. Of course, here in Egypt, you hosted COP27 last year, so you have been very close to this topic as well. And this year, we are proud to host COP28 in Dubai. And some of the things that are happening is that also because of the uncertainty in many parts of the world, many countries, they want to have energy independence. They do not want to rely on getting energy from other countries. And you also have mandates for decarbonization to try to do something about the climate change. And many companies as well are reporting sustainability targets and also what emissions they're doing. And this is something which is also becoming mandated. So sustainability, it's no longer a luxury. It's not a fancy word that we want to promote in marketing. It's actually something very necessary. So taking a step back and talking about what we're doing in Egypt and what you're all involved in. So I was just looking up some interesting numbers about the projects in Egypt, and it's really interesting and impressive to see that the project market size has exceeded 500 billion for the third time. When you look at the number of contracts awarded since 2013, 934 of them are in construction. And you can also see on the bottom right side that the value of these projects are also the biggest in construction. Now, when you look at the status of the projects, you have about 80% in study and design. So what do we do when all these go into construction? In construction, we have major challenges. Overall, there is a low productivity. The project lifecycle is very fragmented, and there is also a shortage of skilled labor. People in construction projects, as an average, waste 35% of their time on non-optimal activities. And the cost of rework is about 1 to 10% depending on the project. So this is not only a cost financially, but imagine also the materials that we could save if we could avoid this rework. And finally, 96% of all data goes unused. Just look at the beginning of the project. How much of that work done actually remains until the end of the project? Also, the way we are communicating within projects is fragmented, and we do not know always where, which drawing is the correct one, and who has access to what. We're using multiple ways to communicate with each other: email, SharePoint, WeTransfer, and maybe most commonly, WhatsApp. And how do you know who has access to what? How do you know that the drawing that you have in your hand is the latest one? And even worse, what if that information fall into the wrong hands? How can you control the sharing of data and files when it's shared in this way? So the industry, it demands better ways of working and better outcomes. 98% of all mega projects are delayed or they go over budget. And industry professionals report in the last year that about 50% of their projects are not performing the way that they would like. And finally, 81% of owners and operators want to get better data out of their projects so that they can make better decisions when it comes to the maintenance and operations. So what we would like to achieve, I'm pretty sure all of us, is to make sure that we have the right information with the right person at the right time. And that's why at Autodesk we have a common data environment where everyone can share information in the same place, and you will know where to find the most up-to-date information, no matter the file type. And very important as well, if we have all this information, we can calculate our carbon emission and carbon impact throughout the AEC lifecycle. We can make sure we use less resources, that we create less waste, and that we also optimize the design so that at handover stage to the owner, they can make sure that they have an optimized building or infrastructure project or whatever it is, in order to make sure that you do not have problems later. And our customers are ready to transform. At Autodesk, we recently did a study, it's called the Design and Make Report, where we have interviewed 2,500 people globally and asked them about their digital transformation and what their goals are and what their thoughts are on the future. And in AEC, 79% of the professionals believe that the growth of the company will depend on digital tools. And I just wanted to mention as well, in case you're not aware of this already, but Autodesk is also investing heavily in transition. And this number here is quite interesting. I think many are not aware of this, but last year we spent over 1.2 billion on research and development. And we have been nominated as one of the most innovative companies in the world. So here are some key construction technology themes, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with them. I just want to name out a few. For example, prefabrication and modular construction is something which is a topic which is becoming more and more popular. We see that as well, you know, for example, some of the projects that are happening in Saudi Arabia. If you're going to build so many buildings at the same time, you need to find a better way to do it. And not only that you need to build a lot, but you also need to build on sites that are quite remote. You might not have access to all these manufacturing facilities and so on. So it makes it easier as well. Digital twins, we have all heard this word many times, probably even a few times today. And wearables, for example, to make sure that you have your tools very easily accessible, like glasses or whatever it can be. And finally as well, artificial intelligence that was mentioned earlier. But this is a message which is quite important, that if you want to make a digital twin, you need to do BIM, you need to have the right information, because you cannot make a digital twin from a PDF. You need to have the right information. So at Autodesk, we know that all our customers are using various digital tools to help them do what they need to do in order to reach their goals. And we want to connect your ecosystem to our tools. We actually have over 185 integrations that are compatible with Autodesk Construction Cloud. So this is quite a busy slide, but it's just quite nice visually, because you can really see how many tools we are connecting with. For example, if you want to connect with your ERP solution, or you want to connect with your supply chain management, or maybe some AR, VR solutions that you want to use in order to make your project more visible. So finally, I just wanted to share a couple of stories from customers globally that have used our solutions to be more sustainable. For example, Skanska, which I think probably you have all heard about, they used a carbon calculator, which is called EC3, that connects to Autodesk Construction Cloud. And they managed to reduce the carbon impact by 30% when they did a project for a Microsoft project where they built a new campus for them. And another example on the right-hand side is Airbus, where they wanted to make a partition in the plane more strong, but also lighter. And with this, what they did is that they used generative design in order to generate the most efficient model. And they managed to create this part that saves 3,180 kilos per plane per year of fuel. So just want to finish off to say that there are 3 types of companies. So first, the companies that make things happen. And second, the companies that things happen to. And finally, the company that went, what happened? And I'm sure you want to be, for sure, in one of the top 2 at least. And I want to finish off to say that Autodesk, we really want to collaborate with all of you to make a better world designed and made for all together with you. And I would also love to be able to, next event, maybe some of you also have some great stories about sustainability and how you made a difference. So really looking forward to that. And I just want to say thank you very much.